Remember, people, to all my up and coming, future influencers, people who want to be just like me, or just be an influencer, someone trying to make a difference and trying to help the world, change the world in any fucking way possible. Or a lot of you people decide that this is something that you want to do, to be an influencer and to make a big meaningful impact in all this shit. You guys have to understand this shit. That as you become an influencer, and the more you make it and the more successful you become, you have to understand the whole world is going to try to influence you. Meaning, once you start making an impact and some meaningful difference in some fucking way, shape, or form, there are going to be people out there that are going to come after you and try to influence your mind, thoughts, words, brain, all that shit, to steer and manipulate you in a different direction. Because there's going to be groups of people out there that genuinely and truly do not want change in this world. And the more you make it, the more, the manipulation's going to become a thing. The more people are going to try to influence you and change your direction, do all this and that. Only reason why I'm sharing this information with you people is because you have to be ready. You have to be prepared mentally, physically, all of this shit, spiritually. You just have to be ready. I mean, maybe not necessarily physically, that probably doesn't make any sense, but mentally, spiritually, you just have to be fucking ready for this shit. If you're someone that truly wants to make change, but you're easily, influenced, it might be very difficult for you to be someone to be an influencer and try to make a difference, because there will be people in this world who will try to manipulate you and steer you in a different direction from what you're trying to accomplish. Because again, there's a lot of people out there that don't want the world to change, that they don't want it to be saved, and they'll do anything to keep it stuck the way it is or make it worse as fucking possible. They don't want it to get better. Therefore, the more accomplished you are, the more successful, and the more of a known person you are, things do get more difficult. They will get harder. More people are going to try to influence the way you think, act, think, or speak, and all this shit. Try to influence you and to steer you in a different direction. And you have to be ready for that shit in any way, shape, or fucking form. This is not to scare you guys off from doing what you want to do and doing the thing that I'm doing to be an influencer and to try to make a difference. I'm not trying to scare you off. You have to be ready for these things. These things will happen. People are going to try to influence you. They're going to try to... And again, not everyone's going to be in that boat. Some people can just skate through life, be doing these things I'm talking about, and never get influenced or affected in any way. But there are people out there that will try to influence a lot more of you than not, or whatever. They're gonna try to influence you and try to change your direction and all this and that. And I'm trying to tell you right now that you need to be strong. You need to stand on your ground, your morals. You need to know what the fuck it is you're doing, where you're trying to go. You need to understand yourself and your morals, and you gotta stand on that shit. When people try to steer you in a different direction, you steer them back in the direction you were fucking going. You gotta stand strong. You gotta know what you want, and you gotta stand on fucking business, and that's fucking it. You guys have to understand, this is coming from a former people pleaser. I used to be a people fucking pleaser, and it was the worst hell I've ever been. I was easily controlled, manipulated. I wasn't my own person in a time frame way back in the day. I lost myself. Easily manipulated, easily influenced. I did what others wanted of me, but not what I wanted. And because of that, it makes your fucking life hell. You have no control over what you're doing, over yourself, or your own fucking life. And it's like, it destroys everything about you and what you're trying to, accomplish for yourself. This is why you have to know who you are. You have to stand on business. You have to stand on your fucking ground. You got to know your morals. You got to know what you're trying to, stand for. And you got to just stand on fucking business, no matter what someone tries to say, do, or no matter what they try to do to persuade you, how they try to manipulate you, what they try to say to you. It doesn't matter. You have to stand on the ground, and you have to be ready for this shit. And you can't let anybody throw you off your fucking game. And that's all I got for you here. The only reason why I brought up the fact that I used to be a former people pleaser is because I'm letting you know this, because I too was once in a lot of your people's shoes, you guys' shoes, and now I was able to change. And I'm only telling you guys this because I want you guys to understand that this is all possible. You can break free. You can do all the things I'm talking about. It's very fucking possible. If I can do it, anyone can fucking do it. Let's get that right out of the way, right out the fucking bat. It is fucking hard though. It is a challenge, and it is something that you have to mentally be fucking ready for. So that's why I'm just trying to prepare you guys before you decide you want to be influencers and try to make a difference and try to make a meaningful impact. Like, you got to be ready. The world's going to try to influence you. There's others that are going to try to come after you and try to stop you from doing what you're doing. And the more accomplished you are, sometimes the harder it gets. And sometimes the more accomplished you are, the better it gets. Like sometimes some people might not have any issues at all, but again, a lot more of us are going to have issues over time than not, just because it's just the name of the game. The bigger of a presence you are, the more people are going to know about you, the more people are going to be able to find you, know who you are, and do all this or that. If you're not known, less people can't know about you, therefore you're not going to have to deal with as much people, you know what I'm saying? But the more of a presence you are, the more famous you become, the more known you are, more people are going to know who you are. That's more, room for more attacks and all this and that. So that's why I'm just trying to say to be ready. Don't be influenced. Don't be swayed. Just stand on your ground. Know what you want and stay on that path no matter who comes into your way, no matter what they try to do, say, influence, whatever the fuck. Just stay the course. Don't give up. And that is the only way you will win. And believe me when I say you will fucking win the game in the end of it all. So, as always, people, take my advice. Don't take my advice. Do what you gotta do. Don't do what you gotta do. I don't give a fuck. This is just for the future influencers who are trying to be like me, or just, like an influencer trying to make a meaningful impact in the world, right? Like, just be ready for this shit I'm talking about. And as long as you're fucking ready mentally, spiritually, and all that, you guys literally have nothing to worry about. You guys will be fine, and you guys will fucking make it, more so than you couldn't even fucking imagine. So just take my advice, do what I'm saying, and I'm telling you guys it'll be fucking fine. But if you just ignore me and disregard me, you don't want to take my advice, it just depends on the path you're going, whatever the fuck you're trying to do. So it does not matter, because everyone is so different at the end of the day. This is just a video, and a video just for, some useful information to help those who do want to be kind of more like me, or just like an influencer. Like this is good information to know, especially for people who haven't started yet, but they're thinking about starting now. Like, just take this information and just utilize it. And I'm not saying you have to take everything I say word for word, but I'm just saying take the general advice I give you, because that will go a long way in helping you guys become more successful, more ready, all these good things. So take my advice as usual. Don't take my advice. I'm not going to keep ranting to you guys. You guys understand exactly what the fuck I'm trying to say. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching my videos, for the love, the support, the comments, the likes, all that, the shares, the favorites, all that good shit. And as always, to end on a good fucking note, give me a kiss and say goodbye and say I love you, because that's just how we roll. We're family, and we have to end on a good note. So